Yo, the student, back at it again. Physically abused, but here to win. This goes out to all my niggas committing sins, and all my niggas trying to bring more enlightenment. Yo, an old ghost told me to always butter my toast, so I did, and quickly became that kid on the block, speaking truth through a Glock. What brothers don't realize, one shot, that moment in time is all they got left, but many continue to stress, living while dying. Funeral homes packed with crying, sighing, and the preachers lying, saying this scum will inherit heaven instead of hell. Another damn soul preparing its last exhale. What we got to look forward to in this life, but more jail. The harsh realities prevail for our youth who are being taught to aim to shoot. Niggas ready to bust loose, only to remain the same. When will niggas learn this is the white man's game? Y'all so lame, using your godly powers in vain. Are y'all insane? They scream back, well yes I am, man. Made for the deception. We work all day, then at night have no protection. Mainstream rappers is a Jewish weapon. It's natural selection to have our people disrespecting one another. Hateful minds produce undercovers in the hood. Changing your attitude does no good. Eventually we need to remove ourselves from the dead wood called the ghetto, where niggas still smoke weed and toast the amaretto. Everything we do is for them, subconsciously until the end, when I toss an IED into the devil's den.
This is Amali Cabral from cslawinfo.us. It's cslawinfo.us. And this video is for all the haters, all the skeptics, all my critics. This is proof that what I have been saying for this past year, and what others before me that have been saying for many years, is true. Here is the concrete evidence, okay? Without giving you the full story, because to be honest, I don't even remember, because this was about 2 years ago it happened, in 2014, out in Santa Monica, California. It is a beautiful town. It's a great place to go and meditate and enjoy the energy rolling off of the waves from the ocean. But to get down to the point, I was walking through a street out there called the 3rd Street Promenade, okay? And back then I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore. And they accused me of throwing a cigarette. No, they accused me of smoking on the promenade, which is against the rules or against one of their codes. So you can get fined. So they lump it in to traffic court, or they lump it in as any other infraction, because all infraction means is you're going to have to pay up. Okay? It's not a civil or criminal, it's not a criminal crime to smoke cigarettes, obviously, else the majority of the country would be in prison right now. But they will extort you for your hard-earned money, of course. So the policy enforcers, the police, came and they surrounded me and they threw me up against the wall until they could twist my wrist, until they could eventually get the cigarette to fall out of my fingers. Now most of you would say, well, why don't you just comply? Well, I didn't comply because I'm not a modern day slave. So only slaves comply to rules and laws that make no logical sense to them. So they ended up arresting me, actually, or as they call it, detaining and putting me back in the backseat of the police car. So make a long story short, I had to appear in court, and to be honest, I totally forgot about it. I got a warrant. They rearrested me. I ended up bailing out on another arrest, and they lumped this case in with it. I went to court this year, about a few months ago, and as you can see from the dates here, I had to appear in Santa Monica Courthouse on 1725 Main Street in Santa Monica, California. The violation date was February 7th, 2015. So about 2015, about a year ago, excuse me, so it wasn't 2 years ago. It's about a year ago, and a little over a year ago, excuse me. And the initial date I was due in court was in May, but I totally forgot. And so basically, they pulled me into court on October 3rd, 2016, as you can see. And it starts off when the judge is trying to establish jurisdiction over me. And obviously, as you've watched my other videos, I'm not going to do that, because I asked him explicitly, basically, what authority does he have to even proceed in a ruling against me? First, you have to establish that. What jurisdiction are we in? And he refused to answer. I started reciting different amendments. I started reciting different codes right back to him, and he got really upset. He removed me from the courtroom, and they kept trying to come out with this yellow form to get me to sign the plea deal, just to sign off on it. They threatened me with contempt, and I wouldn't budge. I just kept going. So eventually they said, well, you got to come back on this date. We set a trial. So I said, great, let's get ready, let's go. And when I come back on, excuse me, this happened prior. This started in August. And what I'll do is I'm not going to take pictures of the information. If somebody really wants it, I'll email it to you. But this started back in August. And as you see, the last action or new appearance date was October 3rd, 2016. This is when we were supposed to have a court trial. But when I got there, they called me, and the original judge wasn't even there, and they ended up dismissing the case. Okay? So the point that I'm making is that always challenge the jurisdiction. You know, I get lots of calls from people asking, should they do this? Should they cite this amendment? Should they, should they do the security? Should they do the acceptance for value? You know what? I used to do all this. Should they, do argue the birth certificate? The whole point is, don't even engage in the argument at all. Don't even get to that point. Just clearly make them prove that they have authority over you, because no man or woman has authority over you unless you allow them to. That's all that's going on here, is that millions of us, billions of us all over the planet are allowing the old oligarchy to have power over us. So once we stop doing that and wake up, we can dismiss them, just like this case was dismissed. Okay, check us out at cslawinfo.us.
All the evidence shows that you deliberately.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know.
The word that you deliberately were hawking up.
Bullshit. I didn't hawk up no saliva, okay? That's bullshit, and you're gonna believe those lies. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't hawk up no saliva. You gonna believe a lie, because they wearing uniform. Just like they beat Richards.
Such a nice guy.
They beat Richards. Did they beat Richards in February? That wrote. Oh, and you don't know who Richards is, huh? February 15th, that rogue ass Diaz beat the man, fractured his jaw, put him in the hospital on life support. You remember that? So he's doing such a good job, isn't he? Diaz, wearing a uniform, right? Rogue deputy.
Look at me.
Just like Eagle. You ain't gotta scream at me. You gonna raise your voice at me?
Oh my God.
You raise your voice to me, I raise my voice to you. You just in a row.
Yes, I appreciate Mr. Gaines making my point for me.
You punk.
Very well received.
Maggot mother.
And I don't think I have to take insult from
I know. You's a
tough guy now. But I think
you'll be a after I get sentenced,
I
punk.
think Mr. Gaines has forfeited me.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. You punk.
I'm talking.
Take out of the courtroom.
You're a maggot.
Yeah, you're a tough guy.
You're a maggot, punk. You should have died. You was a baby.
Yeah.
Maggot.
Anytime, Mr. Gaines.
Shut up, punk. You was a maggot. You should have died. You was a baby. Still born.